Hey, welcome back to the Racing Trend. I'm your host Daniel, and today we are diving into Formula 1 2025 Bahrain Grand Prix review. Let's go. So let's start off. Well, it was a great race. Plenty of overtaking, plenty of action, plenty of strategy. Great to see. At one point, we had everyone on a different tire. People were on softs, mediums, hards. It's great to see that. I think this is what I was thinking. Maybe if they not necessarily force them to have 2 stops, of course, if you did it, you would make them forced to have 2 stops. But what if they are forced to do? Instead of having 2 different sets of tires, what if they had to use all 3 sets of tires? I mean, I guess maybe that would be interesting. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. But yeah, all in all, great race. Even though there is no battle for first. I mean, well done to Piastri. I think he did it's a solid job. The guy just doesn't crack really. It's just our new Iceman, I think. And yeah, it just controlled it. Just controlled the whole race. Whether it was just from the start, from the first lap, or after the safety car restart, he just controlled it, and it was just impressive. And well done to Piastri. That's the second win of this season. Maybe he does have that edge this year. We'll see how he gets on. But yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing. That's what I'm trying to say. I am liking what I'm seeing. I do like Oscar very much, and like I said before, what he's doing, I think this season, other than the odd mistake here and there, is what I was expecting from him, kind of almost from the beginning. I know it does take time to learn these cars, to especially learn the tire wear, how to work the tires and things like that. The 1 lap pace has definitely improved. So let's see what he'll definitely be up there at the end of the season. I am 100% sure of that. Because I think he'll be more consistent than his teammate Norris. So yeah, let's get into Norris. Of a rough one, I would say. It's just not a clean weekend. Qualified 6th. It's quite far back. I guess you could say, 3rd, okay, still on the podium, still recovered quite all right. But really, I think he should have finished 2nd, right behind his teammate. He should have been there. He had the chance to do it. Whether that was, I think he could have done that earlier, because I think he should have pushed it to try to take Russell earlier on, rather than leaving it kind of towards the end. And there's just those mistakes, whether that was, the start, where he was outside of his box, where, you had to have that 5-second penalty. I think he'll be a bit disappointed by himself, regardless of, even third place. Because I'm sure he wanted to be challenging Piastri, and I think if he maybe qualified second, maybe he would have. I don't know. But Piastri definitely had everything under control. Yeah, nothing was touching him this weekend. Or at least in the race. Russell in second again. He's just consistently up there. He's doing a fantastic job for Mercedes, and that Mercedes on a track where I thought they would have struggled a bit more because of temperatures, but yeah, they seem to have sorted that out, which is great for them, of course. But yeah, Russell just consistently up there, consistently in between the McLarens, essentially, just delivering their quality, pace, getting the car up there, and it's just, yeah, impressive. Really, Russell's just doing a really impressive job, and I think I'm really curious about the rule change that we're gonna have from Spain onwards, and how will that affect cars, teams, drivers, whether McLaren has that advantage because of the rules that they have at the moment, flexi front wings and all that. But yeah, it's interesting whether that will hurt Mercedes more. Who knows? We don't know. So yeah, I think especially if you're McLaren, I think you want to bag as many points as you possibly can to that point, because maybe they won't have that advantage that they're having at the moment. So that's why I think Norris finishing even third, is a bit disappointing, really. And both of them haven't maximized the points that they were offered, and whether that will hurt them come towards the season, yeah, we'll see, because might not be just them two. Norris just a few lot of mistakes in the race as well, just overtaking people off the track, so they had to give the place back to Hamilton, for example. Again, that penalty at the start, and again, I think he should have got Russell. I'm not, of course, I'm not a Formula 1 driver. I'm not there under pressure to deliver. But you look at that last lap from Norris and you think, well, he just, braked. But earlier tried to cut on the inside of the apex a bit more and kind of get the better exit towards the straight into turn 4. I think he would have got Russell, but I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. So, but well done to Russell. I thought he defended fantastic. So yeah, but yeah, that is our top 3. Next we have Leclerc. Ferrari started on the medium tire, which I thought was, I thought it was a rather good decision. I think maybe what held Leclerc back was the fact that he lost a few positions at the start, and that I think put him on the back foot a bit, because I think if he is able to hold on to second, maybe he would have been able to do better. I'm not saying the Ferrari looked amazing or anything like that, but I thought what they were doing with this strategy was, I thought they were on a rather good strategy. They looked good after the the first pit stop when they went on the medium again. And yeah, both of them, Leclerc and Hamilton, just looked quick. And Leclerc overtook Norris, and so he was ahead of him for the safety car. And I think if we wouldn't have got a safety car, maybe it would have been a different race. And I don't think Norris would have even got Leclerc back, because although saying that, not sure. I don't know anymore, to be honest. Depending on what Ferrari would have done, because I think that hard tire would have never worked. And I think they should have gone a soft tire. In hindsight, I do think it was a bold call by Mercedes to do that for Russell. And so yeah, whether that would have worked, whether not, we don't know. But I don't think the hard tire really worked. It was just didn't have any grip, and it struggled for temperature, and it's just not a tire really for this race. We saw what happened to Verstappen. He just completely went backwards really at that point. I think he was hating it. So yeah, I think maybe if they changed it to the soft tire at the safety car, they'd stop. I think, yeah, maybe we would have been able to hold third. Not sure. I don't know. But yeah, I think regardless of where they finish, I think Ferrari has definitely, I think, made a step. I think they, this new floor that they have now, I think the car looks a bit better. I still think that it does look a bit tricky, especially maybe to set it up. I think Leclerc's even mentioned that he's got to drive in a specific way to get the most out of it. Hamilton struggling a bit more. I mean, to still get fifth, I think qualify ninth to get fifth, I think is still quite a decent job. He did fall away from Leclerc quite a bit after the safety car. I think he was quite a few seconds behind him, and he was right there. So yeah, I think he's still trying to get the grips on the Ferrari. I think he's even having to learn a new way of driving that car. So I'm curious. I'm really curious how that goes for him, because whether age is a factor or not, I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm sure that will be hard to admit to himself that might be the case. But yeah, well, let's not forget he did win the race. I know it was only a sprint, but he qualified in pole then. So there is something on that car that might be working for him. Might be not the quickest car with that setup, but yeah, let's see what Hamilton can still do. I know he's still early on in the season, and I know he's still learning, and I'm sure it's harder to learn car at 40 years old or whatever. And yeah, we'll see. But Verstappen, he had no luck whatsoever in this race. I've never seen, or at least we don't see, mistakes by Red Bull. Let's be honest. I mean, Verstappen still no mistake. He didn't really do any mistakes. Car was just, yeah, just crap, really. But to still get it up to sixth when I felt like he had everything going against him, is still such a Verstappen thing to do. Overtake Gasly on the last lap. Take note, Norris. Yeah, to do that, I didn't see it, unfortunately. I mean, I did see it after the race, but didn't see it during the race. Thanks for that TV direction, which was all over the place this weekend. And yeah, with pit stop problems twice, two pit stop problems where they were quite slow. I think they didn't pit him right during the safety car, which I think was probably the right call, because he at least gained a few positions, and still remained quite quick. So that car just did not look good. If you compare that to how it looked in Suzuka, just day and night difference. Seems like it just I never Verstappen's all the time complaining about the brakes. He was not enjoying it, let's be honest. So he's still up there. He's still up there. So that's incredible. And again, let's see what happens from Spain onwards, whether he'll still be up there. If he's still up there and the car is, better with regards to other teams, he knows what he can do. You just give him half a chance, and I think he'll be able to take it. Still impressive, regardless of what happened in the race to get sixth. I think it's still impressive by him. Next, we had Gasly in seventh, qualified fourth or fifth, but he gained the position because of Antonelli's and Russell's penalty, of course. Gasly just had a really solid weekend. First points for Alpine, so that is just great to see. And he just did a stellar job, really. But what else is there to say? Well done to Gasly and Alpine. I think the car looked quite alright. Doohan was not that far back, but when you look at Gasly, where he qualified and finished, I think Doohan should have maybe finished the top 10 at least, maybe. Next at Ocon, again, just brilliant job by him. Qualified 14th to finish 8th, I think is really impressive. Well done to Haas, to have two drivers in this top 10, I think is massive well done to them. I think they'll be really happy with this weekend and how that turned out. Bowman finished 10th, but he qualified. He was last. He started last, so to finish in the top 10, really impressive. Really, really impressive. And and we also had Yuki in the top 10, finally in the points. Finally, come on, Yuki. Definitely much better than last time, and I hope he continues to improve. We've seen how tricky that Red Bull's even in Verstappen's hands. So Yuki to be up there. He did have a scruffy race. I think he maybe should have done a bit better, but so in the points, I don't think we can say more about that because yeah, the where Lawson was the first two races was nowhere, so this is a big improvement, and I hope Yuki carries on this trajectory, and yeah, I hope he just carries on, improving the car and just be there, be there behind Verstappen at least, not too far back, get in the top 10s. I think that's all he needs right now. So yeah, another mention, and I finished outside of the top 10. I think it was really unlucky. It was Kimi Antonelli. I mean, some of the moves he made in the race, I think, were just fantastic. And to finish outside of 10, he was a bit unlucky with the safety car because he pitted just a few laps before. Maybe what they should have done is just not pay him again and just let him carry on. I think maybe that would have been the better decision. I don't know. But yeah, I thought other than finishing outside the points, I think he had a really good race. Just the strategy didn't quite work out for him. So yeah, it's a shame, but it's just how it goes sometimes, and so you can do. But yeah, overall, yeah, great race. I thought I thoroughly enjoyed it, even though we didn't have any fight for the first place. But to have battles kind of all over the field was just great to see, with people on different strategies. Yeah, Bahrain just seems to be just a great track for racing these days, and it was not always the case. Has been for the couple of years now, but it's not always the case, to be honest. But yeah, it's especially that first sector seems to just create great balance of racing, where the guy, he just goes a bit to the right to defend. That puts him a bit awkward into the next few corners to get into the second straight. So, and then guy behind, if he gets a good exit, he can take him into turn 4. So yeah, I think it's a great sequences of corners, and I'm surprised not many other tracks have implemented something in that way. So yeah, I think that's where Bahrain really works. Minus that one time we had that massive awkward in the field, whatever it was in 2010, where it was just, I don't know if you guys remember that, but that was a shocking layout of a Bahrain track. Yeah, don't do that again. But yeah, great race overall. Really looking forward to Saudi now and see what happens there. That is of a crazy track as well, I feel. I think it's a track where you can overtake as well. So yeah, looking forward to that one. I've got my MotoGP Qatar review next. So stick up for that one, because that was a good one. So yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. See ya.